What's this, Rabbi say?
Yes.
Dropping your coins in the Yamamela.
Okay, good. Very good. And not in a river like this. It looks as if you're standing in a river, but you're not allowed to drop coins in a river, Chazal.
It should be just one.
Correct. But if the art comes with chocolate and candy and garbage and you have to cover it, what do? Okay.
Well, why can't you?
We're holding Daf Chof test today.
You have a number of times.
Top of the page, beginning of a sugya. We did the Mishnah really quickly yesterday. It would be a good idea to go through it again, but it's too long. Fine. Tana Rabbanan. Chermei kohanim ein lohem pidyon v'noisim lekohanim. So a guy says, this object is cherem, and I want to give it to the kohen. He has two options. He could say, I want to give this cherem to the bedek habayis, or I want to give it to the kohen. If he says, I want to give it to the kohen, this is in the Mishnah, it's continuation, it's explanation of the Mishnah. Ein lem pidyon. So as long, what does it mean ein lem pidyon? When it's still in your possession before you gave it to the kohen, you cannot redeem it. Then, you cannot redeem it when it's in your possession. That's the only time you can't redeem it. But once it goes to the kohen, then it becomes chulin, as the Gemara says in a second. Charomim calls man sheheim bebeis baalim harei hein kehegdish l'chol devreim shenema kol cherem b'Yisrael kodesh kadoshim hu l'Hashem. It has halacha of kodesh kadoshim. If you say on an object, this should be cherem, and I want it to go to Ruvain, the kohen, then it becomes kodesh kadoshim on the spot. When you give it to Ruvain, nisanim lekohen harei l'chol devreim kechulin, then it switches into chulin shenemar kol cherem b'Yisrael l'cho yiyah. Fine.
That's because I got redeemed.
Nope. Once it goes to the kohen, it just hits his hand, his bailus. Yeah. Then it switches into chulin, because anything the kohen owns, he can do whatever he wants with it. So it becomes chulin.
Not the owner.
The owner could use it also.
It's the kohen.
It's the kohen's, but if the kohen decides I want to give it to the original guy, but up until that point, it's like kodesh kadoshim.
So you give it as a present, you can sell to anyone, and it becomes completely chulin.
It's completely chulin. The chol divreim chulin. Says the Gemara. It said in the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir oimer stam charomim lebedek habayis. Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir in the Mishnah, and soon we're going to see that Rav switches the shittas in the Mishnah. But in the Mishnah it says that Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir says, if a person doesn't specify, cherem can go either way. It can go to the Beis Hamikdash, it can go to the kohen, and the guy didn't specify. He said, I want this object to be cherem. Cherem what? Cherem kohen, cherem bedek habayis. Something's going on? What happened, Noam? What are you doing here? What do you know about this thing? It's good?
Looking if they need some coffee.
Oh, maybe somebody, okay. Truth is, it's on. There's like, we're getting messages this morning. It's not so good.
What does that mean?
I need to, like, on my phone, I was able to, what do you call it? Like, just remove, no phone calls, no anything, because if a phone call comes in, it's going to cut it off.
You have to turn off data.
You have to turn off, no, data has to be on because it's on data. It has to be in between. It has to have data, but no, like a silent thing, like do not disturb. No, airplane mode is not good, then there's no data.
No data.
Bishleimer Abanon, Kidikom Farshit Hamayu. The time of the Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir. So Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir pulls out a pasuk and he says that it says in the pasuk that it goes to bedek habayis because it says kodesh kadoshim. Rabbanan say no. There's another pasuk that says la kohen tia. So what's Rabbanan svara? La kohen tia. If a person says cherem and he doesn't specify, it goes to the kohen. What about Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir's pasuk of kodesh kadoshim? So for that, Chachamim say it comes to tell us a new halacha, that if a person applies cherem on top of a carbon, then he owes the Beis Hamikdash whatever he owes, depending on the type of carbon. If it's a nedava, he owes less. If it's a neder, he owes more. So, mifarish tamayu. The Mishnah explained well what Chacham hold. Ela Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir, haikis dei cherem may overlay. If the pasuk says that cherem goes lakoyen tia, so how does Rabbi Yehuda explain it lakoyen tia? Says the Gemara mebar leilik sanyo, and we had this sugya, a very similar sugya earlier. Kizdei acherim lakoyin tia chuzosim matam oloymar. So yesterday the pasuk is very nice pasuk here. Where is it? This is the pasuk, right? So it talks about zdei achuza v'hoy zdei asada b'tzeisa v'yovel kodesh l'Hashem kizdei acherim. The zdei achuza should be like zdei acherim. The Gemara is going to say it's mamish the reverse. The Torah is telling us, look at zdei acherim and learn from it zdei achuza. But it's the opposite. We mentioned zdei acherim and we actually are learning zdei acherim. It's not kizdei acherim. Zdei acherim is kizdei achuza. What's the pshat? It's similar to like the right of first refusal. The kohen was in that field. It was his. He owned the zdei cherem. Somebody said, this is a zdei cherem to that kohen. I want that kohen to get my sada cherem. So he owned the sada. Then he takes that field, and what does he do with the field? He goes ahead and he turns it over to Hegdish. Koyin shehigdish dei cherem. First he had his dei cherem, then he made this dei cherem into Hegdish. Why did he get it in the first place? Because it wasn't so valuable to begin with. So he says, oh, what am I going to do with this? Okay, let me give it to Hegdish. He gives the Hegdish. Look, it was mine for 10 years. Everybody knows it's mine. So now that I gave it to Hegdish, and nobody redeemed it, so it goes to the Kohanim. So I should be the first Kohen that gets it. Why should I divide it with all my friends? If anyways there's a field that nobody redeemed, it gets split, divided evenly between the Kohanim. Now I should get it also. It's some interesting svara he's saying here. That's why this pasuk the Chacham, you're asking me, what does Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseir do with this pasuk the Chacham said? That from that pasuk it says the kohen tiyah should go to the kohen and not to bet the kabayis. What does Chacham do with that pasuk? To say that he doesn't have the right of first refusal, he must divide it with everybody else. What do we learn from this word right over here in red? What is there to learn? It says zdei achuz is like as zdei cherem, but it's not like as zdei cherem. The opposite, zdei cherem is like as zdei achuza. If I can't learn anything from it, harei zebal lamed, it tried to teach you, v'nimtza lamed. It ended up not teaching anything. It ended up being a student. Makish zdei cherem oil is zdei achuza shel Yisrael. Ma zdei achuza shel Yisrael yoytz mitachas yoda. You must chalek es l'kohanim. Just like we learned in the other sugya. I have no idea when it was, a week ago. What's going on? What happened?
I was reading.
Oh, okay. I thought you're suffering from something. I thought you said, oh no, one of those. As the achuzah, we learned, there was a few words, it says achuzah, so twice, we learned that a kohen doesn't have the right to grab onto it, even though he worked the field for 15, 20 years, it was his, everybody knows this is Reuven's field. But since he didn't redeem it, it goes back to all the kohanim, so too cherem goes back to all the kohanim. As the cherem yoytzim mitachas yodim schalek zelecha v'kohanim v'idach and chachamim. How do they learn this halacha that he can't grab onto the field? Mecherem hacherem. Since it says kizdei hacherem, it should say kizdei cherem without a hey. The extra hey teaches it v'idach hacherem hacherem loy mashmal. You already know this. Okay, he doesn't learn the hey. Hey is not important to him. Now, chachamim say that it says in the pasuk, how do you know? Again, person says this object should be cherem, right here. This should be cherem. He doesn't specify it should go to the right to the kohen or should go to the left to Beis Hamikdash. Chachamim say it goes to the kohen. How do they know that? Because it says in the pasuk, what? For now. He's learning, he takes the pasuk Kodesh Kadashim. It says in the pasuk that when a person stam says the word cherem, it becomes Kodesh Kadashim. What does Kodesh Kadashim mean? If I have two options, to the kohen or to the Beis Hamikdash, Kodesh Kadashim goes to the Beis Hamikdash. So now he doesn't have a pasuk Kodesh Kadashim, so he doesn't know what Chachamim know, that I could take an animal that is designated for a carbon and I could insert in it another Kedusha called cherem, and now I'm obligated to pay a cherem money. So how does he know that halacha? The chal al kochi kochim val kochim kalim. Now, I'm gonna cheat here for a second, and with my cheat, I'm gonna ask you, remember this line right over here, because soon I'm gonna ask you a riddle, and it's right here in this line. How does he know that I could put chayrim on top of kochi kochim, any type of carbon, a oila, a shlomim, a kochim kalim, shlomim also, minole, savarle ki Rebbe Yishmael. He holds like Rebbe Yishmael. There's a Mishnah all the way at the end on this Amud. Shmuel brings two psukim. It says by Bchar, Tagdish and Layagdish. And from that's where Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira gets his halacha, that I could put chayrim on top of a carbon. Amarav. Halacha ki Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. What does Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira say? If somebody says chayrim stam and doesn't explain what he means, it goes, according to Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, it goes to the Bedek HaBayis. Kodesh Kodashim. And that's the halacha. As the Gemara of Rav Shavik Rabban of Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, how could Rav go with a minority, with one shita of Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, and completely abandon Chachamim? Says the Gemara Brayse Ibchatanya, because in the Brayse it says the Chachamim said that it goes to Bedek HaBayis. Shavik Masnisim Vavid Kibrayse, what? He's going to leave a Mishnah and go like a Brayse? Rav Masnisim Nami Ibchatani. Rav, according to this shot in the Gemara, he flipped the Mishnah. He took the Brayse, he saw the Chachamim in the Brayse say that it goes to Bedek HaBayis. He came in our Mishnah, changed the Shita. My Chaz Davchis Masnisim Kamei Brayse, what? You're going to change a strong Mishnah for a weaker Brayse? In who said what? Navik Brayse Kamei Masnisim. No, it can't be. Says the Gemara, Rav Gamrei Gomir. No. Rav knew this for a fact. He learned it from his Rebbe, that Chachamim are the ones that say that it goes to Bedek HaBayis. And that's how we always learned always. Chayrim, Stam Chayrim goes to Bedek HaBayis. And therefore, when he met this Mishnah, it was a problem for him. It was a wrong Mishnah. The Mishnah had it wrong. So Mela, he switched the Shitas. He knew the halacha is that it goes to Bedek HaBayis. It says that Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira says it goes to Bedek HaBayis. That doesn't fit into what he knows. So you must say that Rabbanan say Bedek HaBayis because that's the halacha, and the halacha is like the Rabbi. So then why does he say that Allah is like Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira? According to you, that you have the wrong girsa, and you say Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. So I'm telling you, the bottom line, what's more important is the bottom line. That the halacha is, if somebody says chayrim stam, it goes to the Beis Hamikdash. Who said it? It's better if we know that Chacham say. You don't want to agree to that. You want to say Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. Fine. According to you, Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, that's the halacha. The halacha is it goes to the Beis Hamikdash, not to the Kohanim. Says the Gemara, there was a person that took his nechasim. I don't know if all of them, some of them, a lot of them, and he said they are chayrim. Now in Pumbedisa, there's no yovel. It's like doing it in America. Taking my nechasim, chayrim. Also, the Kamei de Rabbi Yehuda. Let's remember this Rabbi Yehuda because he's brought down a little later. Rabbi Yehuda said it. Omalei shkoil arba zuzi. Take 4 zuz. How much is 4 zuz? A zuz is about 192 prutas, and 4 of them would be 768. Take 768 prutas. In our days, about $30. V'achlalayu. Take a field that's worth $17 million. Take a $30 amount of money, and take the kedusha from the $17 million. Put it into this money. V'shadinu b'naharo v'lishtur l'achir. Here's the picture for all the newcomers. This is it. What do you learn from this picture? Absolutely nothing. It was just for an 8-minute video. Over here, whatever. I need to find some. Somebody could help me out. I need to get legal pictures. This is shtickle.
Websites for legal pictures.
But as good as these?
Type in legal pictures. Like you pay like $5 a month or something.
I don't mind paying, but I don't want to get sued. That's why I also put tzitzis on every picture. I change it. I do Shinei Hashem. I hope that they.
What?
Okay.
Okay, so you pay $30.
I need 5. So it costs me $5 a day. I do 3. Fine. So what do you see? Alma kosovar stam charom lebedek habayis. If it went to the kohen, what's the first words on this page? Torah Rabbanon chermei kohanim. It's actually the Mishnah before, but I don't want you to look on Amud Beis on the bottom, so it's easier to look at the top. Cherem koyanim ein lohem pidyon. You cannot redeem a cherem of a kohen. So from the fact that Rav Yehuda told him take it and put it on money, what was he saying? That it doesn't belong to the kohen. What he did when he said cherem stam, it went to the Beis Hamikdash, and that's why I can redeem it with money. Alma kosovar stam charomim lebedek habayis. Kiman kishmuel the Omar hegdish shava mana shechila lo yashava pruta mechulo. You take a hegdish that's worth 100, and you put it on a little pruta that's a fraction of what it's worth. It works. You could be mechalal. You could take a very valuable object and put it into a smaller object and be mechalal. When he went ahead and he did it without asking questions, he never said that this is what you should do. Why did Rabbi Yehuda tell him, go ahead and do this? Says the Gemara, very posh. If a field is worth $17 million, hekdesh is what? What's the word?
Loss.
They are entitled to the $17 million. You have no right to take $17 million and give them a pruta. That's in the time of Beis Hamikdash. It's better, forget about it. You must do it. Because if you don't do it, what's going to happen? Tomorrow someone's going to come on the field and it's going to be over Isser. We're going to forget about it. This has Kedusha, this field. You have to get rid of the Kedusha. How? You put into what?
Maybe we should be mechalal in $17 million. What do you mean?
And do what with it? We're taking the money. No! We're throwing it in the garbage.
Right.
So what do you gain by it? Well, it's time to waste the guy's money. Over here, we're just taking it and throwing it into the garbage. One pruta, not literally. If you throw it into a river, you have to grind it up into fine dust and then throw
Make a
it.
difference. It has to be destroyed.
So why did he tell him to do 768 prutas? Take the least amount, one pruta. Why waste your money? Why $30? Persume milsa. If somebody takes a 10 agurot and tosses into the ocean, nobody's going to flinch. But if somebody sees somebody taking money and wasting it, it's going to go crazy.
They can talk about it.
I had a guy in my office, a guy that still works for me. He came over to me and said, Jews are stingy. And it really aggravated. Like, he used to say these things. He's a schmacky guy. So I don't know why, don't ask me. And this is a good thing Nachman is not here. It's not a story you can write. I took out $20 from my pocket and I put it in the shredder on the spot. And he went crazy. He started grabbing it. He tried to put it together again. The farfalin. Sometimes you have to, maybe not. It should have been a pruta, but then I wouldn't have made my.
Did it help?
He won the
No.
bet. He won the bet with his friend. So, watch me make this Jew lose $20.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Tim's a good guy. All right, Yochi, if he's watching, I don't know. You never know who's watching. Yochi, afilu prutanami. Presuming milsa, we wanted to be mefarsim. Omarula. So Ula is muchulag on this whole thing. We just said, Rav says the halacha is that it goes to Bedek HaBayis. Ula says no. It's supposed to go to Kohanim. Stam Cherim goes to a Kohen, and therefore it goes to the Kohanim. So Bizman Hazeh, Ula is talking about in Pumpadisa. This is in Pumpadisa. Pumpadisa doesn't have Yovel. What Kohanim? There's no Mishmar. Which Kohanim? Anyone you want. Okay, so but the halacha is, I saw the halacha brings, they give it to the Kohanim that live in that area.
Why is that
That's the... It was. This story happened. It was a story in Pumpadisa. Rabbi Yehuda was in Pumpadisa. The Gemara says a story that happened. The real story. A guy who was machrim his field, his nechasim, and Rabbi Yehuda said, you got to take the money. It's an actual story. It's not a stam halach in the ear. It happened.
After the Korban, right?
Yeah. Or...
Not during the Zman of the
Well, it could be, this happened to be after the Churban, but it could be even as long as there's no Yovel. There's no Yovel. No Yovel. And Rashi over here, somebody asked yesterday in Menachem said, and Rashi, if you look at Rashi, and the Gemara is going to bring down on Daf Lamed Beis as well. Oh, by the way, just as you brought up yesterday, and I looked into it, that you could be, just going back to a correction, a little bit of correction. Meiser Sheni, anybody could be paida, but the fruit remained by the owner. You do it for no reason. Not for no reason, it's like a trick almost. It's because if you're paida your own fruit, so you have to add a chaimish. So you go to your best buddy and say, listen, here, let's do a deal. You own the fruit for a second. You do the pidyon. It's going to cost you 20% less, 25% less. I'm going to give you the money. Don't worry about it. And then therefore, I don't have to carry all this money. I don't have to come up with all this money. A guy owns a huge amount of fruit. He owns all these fields and everything. Fine. Alma kosover ulo stam charom lekohanim.
Right?
Yeah.
Not like small.
Well, what? You're talking about Ma'aser Sheni? Yeah. What do you mean not like Shmuel? Yeah.
Shmuel says if you're a recruiter when it comes to hekdesh, he doesn't say that by my
No. Ma'aser Sheni is different. Yeah. That's chilul. That's chilul and that's pidyon. Two different things. You mechalel gdusha hekdesh onto a coin. Ma'aser Sheni is something else. You have to take that money and go buy fruit. So Akolpanim, it says here that Ula holds that Stam Cherim goes to the Kohen. That's why he wanted to give it to the Kohen. Meisvei. Now the Gemara brings 5 halachas that don't apply if there's no yoyel. Ein evidivri noyeg elo b'zman shayovel noyeg. There's no evidivri at all. You can't buy, you can't use evidivri if there's no yovel. Why? Shenemar achnas hayovel yaved imach. You see that's connected. Evidivri is connected to yovel. Veins de achuza noyeg. You have to be goris here achuza. If your Gemara doesn't have it, insert it. Veins de achuza noyeg elo b'zman shayovel noyeg. This whole concept that we learned by Zdei Achuzah, Giroin, that you start off with 50 shekel and every year it goes down by a shekel and a pudyoin, that's only when there's yovel. I can't force a sale, I can't do anything if there's no yovel. This is a concept called Batei Orechoima. If somebody has a house inside a walled city and he sells it, he has 1 year to take back the sale. What? 1 year, that's it. Only 365 days. He has 1 year, no matter what, he can go back to the guy that bought it from him and give him a full return, take back his house. He has seller's remorse for a whole year. But only when the yovel is there. Shenemar lo yetzi b'yovel. That if, it says in the pasuk, if he didn't do it within a year, and it doesn't go out by yovel. In other words, it's connected to yovel. Reb Shimon ben Yochai Omer, ein zdei charamim noyeg elo bizman shayovel noyeg. This whole thing that we learned, that a person says my field should be a cherem, it doesn't apply at all in the time when there's no yovel. So what's the kasha? We just learned. Rabbi Yehuda said there is a problem. He has to take the money and throw it in the river. But it says there's no cherem at all if there's no yovel, and there's no yovel in the time of Pumpadisa. Shenema v'hoya asol v'tzeis v'yovel kodesh l'Hashem because they are cherem. Reb Shimon lo zoymer ein ger toishev noyeg elo b'zman shayovel noyeg. Ger toishev is a concept. If a guy accepts upon himself not to do avodah zarah and not to eat nevelos, we have to support him. We have to give him a livelihood and sustain him. But that's only if there's a yovel. Huh? No, I think it's also nevelos. He's ein oichel nevelos. Yeah. I hope it's not like Rashi like yesterday. I read it wrong. Where are you looking again? She's almost like that. She keep it up. She loy lav the oichel nevelos samach. Samach. Avodah zarah. I should know it. No. I didn't chaz avodah zarah in a long time. 30 times is not enough for me. I didn't get to 40. That's the problem.
Does it mean Shiva Mrs. B'nai Noach? Yeah.
Ger Toishov?
Yeah.
He says yes. I don't know. Rashi says. I should know from Avodah Zarah. Fine. Omer Abibi, my time asset toiv toiv. So we'll just go off for a second. It says Ksiv hacha by Avedivri ki toiv lo yimach Ksiv hasam by Ger Toishov but toiv lo toinenu. Akoponim. You see that the Cherim is not in this time in these days. Zog the Gemara lekashia ha b'mekarkei ha b'metaltalei. In karka, there's no zdei cherem, but b'metaltalim yes. V'amaisa de pubedisa b'mekarkei nami hava. By the way, I think it was Tosfos that's medayik or somebody's medayik. It says nami havi. In other words, they want to be medayik from here that it was both. It was metaltalim and karka. Akoponim it's karka also. Mekarka the chutz la'aretz ki metaltal d'eretz Yisrael dami. Karka in chutz la'aretz it cherem is chal. Karka in Eretz Yisrael cherem is not chal. Metaltalin is chal according to this Gemara. And therefore, we had to take a step to get rid of the chayrim on the karka by being mechaled on money. Zog the Mishnah. Psukim, yeah. Here it says in the pasuk. The Mishnah brings it, but it's more geshmak like this if you can read it. There's two psukim in two different parishes, but Akopono it says kol ha-bechar. We're talking about a bechar, a behema, and it says tagdish. You should make a kaddish. And all of a sudden, this pasuk it says ach bechar asher yivukah LaHashem lo yagdish. What should you do? Do you make a kaddish or you don't make a kaddish? Seems like a contradiction in the psukim, and we have two pshatim. Rabbi Shmuel lo imer kosev echad oimer tagdish, kosev echad oimer lo yagdish. Yev shelo imer tagdish, harei kvar nema lo yagdish. Yev shelo imer lo yagdish, harei kvar nema tagdish. You can't say don't do it when the Torah says you should, and you can't say do it when the Torah says you shouldn't. Contradiction. Okay, tzad. Magdishoy ato hegdish ilui. You could make it cherem, you could be magdish it more if you have a bechar and you add to it and you say I want to make it cherem, so now I add a little cherem to it. I have to pay hegdish, whatever that's worth. We said in the other Mishnah yesterday at the end, we read it really quickly, that you take a grandfather Yisrael that has a grandson of Kayin because his daughter married a Kayin, and he goes over to a Yisrael random guy and says, listen, I want you to give your bechar animal to my grandson. How much is that worth it for the grandfather? It can't be a Kayin himself that does it for his own grandson, because that would be Misayeh basic Ronois. It has to be a Yisrael that so whatever that's worth. It's not worth the full value of an animal, but it's not a cheap thing that the grandfather sees that his grandson gets all the lamb chops and everything, that it has value. So whatever that is, that's what the chayrim is. How do I know this? From these psukim, tagdish and lo yagdish. So what do you see from here? That by a bechar, right? This pasuk is by a bechar. Tagdish and lo yagdish. So here comes the riddle. Does this also apply to other karbanos? It says in the Mishnah that when it comes to a bechar, I have these two psukim, tagdish and lo yagdish, and I could add a cherem to it. It's not a problem to say on my bechar, this animal should be a cherem to Pliny Kohen, and therefore I have to give Pliny Kohen another $25. That's in bechar. What about other animals? And the answer is, it says mufurish in the Gemara that Savar lo Karebi Yishmael. What does it mean, Savar lo Yishmael? This Mishnah. And what does the Gemara say, Savar lo Yishmael? In Kachim Kalim. In all Korbanos, Savar lo Yishmael. So I learned from this Gemara right here that this pasuk, although it's said by bechar, but I apply it to all animals, all Korbanos. If I have an oila, I say this oila should be a cherem. How do I learn it? From the pasuk of bechar, I would be chayiv to cherem.
That's only according to not according to Rabbana. Maybe according to Rabbana in the winter.
Right. I don't know. And it's according to Rabbi Shmuel. It's according to Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Can I declare a cherem on your animal?
No.
An oil doesn't belong to you. You are no longer the owner.
Right. So that was the Mishnah yesterday. Very good. Depends if it's a neder or a nedava. A nedava, it is yours because you have full responsibility. If it dies, bye. And in neder, you also have a little bit that it's worth. How much would you pay to bring a oila when you don't owe a oila? Stam, a guy says, look, I'll give you this animal for free. I can't go to the Beis HaMikdash, I'm too old. Take it, do whatever you want with it. Take it how much would you pay? For that schus to bring a carbon today. Whatever that schus is, that's how much you own in that animal. You're right, it's not yours, but you have some sort of, it has shavius. It has a toivus ana. It's called toivus ana. Toivus ana.
Toivus ana is not something that's subject to share.
No, if something's not yours, you have zero toivus ana. I can't say on your oila, I'm going to bring it to the Beis HaMikdash. I'm going to sell it to somebody else. But over here, I could sell it to somebody else. I could take my oila and give it to somebody else to bring to the Beis HaMikdash. There's a toivus ana. Zok the Gemara v'Rabbanon. Rabbanon already learned this concept in the other Mishnah, yesterday's Mishnah at the end of Amud Beis. From the word Kodesh Kodashim, Right, Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira learns Kodesh Kodashim that a person says Cherem, it means it goes to Bedek HaBayis. Chachamim say, no, Kodesh Kodashim is this exact halacha. That I could go on any carbon and say Cherem. This carbon is Cherem and I owe that money to the Beis HaMikdash. So they already learned this concept from the words Kodesh Kodashim. So now what do they do with Tagdish and Al Yagdish? Lo Yagdish and Tagdish. V'Rabbanon Al Tagdish Miboyer Lilav. That what? That if a person looks at a Bechar and he says, I want this Bechar to be a Oila. Too bad. It doesn't become an Oila. But guess what? Even though it doesn't become an Oila, you're Oiven Avera. Just for saying those words. It didn't work, you didn't accomplish anything, bam, they give you Malkus. Tagdish mi boile likdesanyo minayin lenoilad bechar be'edrish mitzvah agdishoy. And here's even a bigger chiddush. A bechar comes out of its mother, out of the womb, it comes out kaddish. You don't have to do anything. You could be asleep, and it's 100% a bechar by itself. Yet there's a mitzvah to add and look at it and say, kaddish. Say it with your mouth. Be magdish with your mouth, say chachamim. Why? Because of this word, tagdish. The Torah tells you, tagdish. But it is kaddish. No, you say it. Shenemar hazocher tagdish. Rabbi Shmuel, Eloi magdish loy kaddish. It's already kaddish. How could he argue? Magdish loy kaddish. So he says, no, there is no special mitzvah. It comes out kaddish. There's no reason for you to just say those words. Hadron Allah, Hamagdish Sodeyu, Hadron Allah. What?
I assume you didn't mean that he gets a malchus.
Listen, I don't know. It's if they gave him Asra and they told him not to. Why? What are you saying not? I was thinking about it while I say it. I threw it out there. Okay, so like a couple of days ago,
each page by us, I don't know, start printing 10 minutes.
we can do any page in 10 minutes. They just need the pressure. Lamaisa, a few days ago after Shir, I'm trying to think of what order it was. Yeah. So Menachem Mata comes over and he says, listen, I think you should do a chart on the difference between Zdei Achuz and Zdei Cherem. But like there's a little bit of confusion here. I said, that's a very good idea, very good idea. 3 minutes later, no, I'm fixed. Eli, I think, manage the same words. I think you should make a chart, the difference between Zdei Achuz. So anyways, then I'm learning this mission this morning. So I asked him, did you guys speak? Does this? No, I promise, no. Fine. I'm learning this mission. I said, oh, I forgot about the chart. So I sat down, I made the chart. I don't know if it's good or not good. If you guys have any auras, I don't know. You probably cannot see it all the way back there, Menachem. But just to go through the chart real quickly to give maybe some sort of, maybe there'll be a little bit more clarity. And look online. I hope Gershon is posting it now. 2 top categories: Zdei Achuz and Zdei Miknos. Zdei Achuz, they're both fields that you inherited from Chalukas Aretz. Somebody in your family got it when they came into Eretz Yisrael. Just one. The Zdei Achuz, he was magdish to the Beis HaMikdash, and the Zdei Mikna, he sold it to a random guy, like you just sell real estate. What's the difference? Zdei Achuz has the concept of kur b'chamishim. If the size field, 75,000 amas, you redeem for 50 shekel, 1 shekel per year, or 1 shekel and pudyin for the 49 years remaining. The Zdei Mikna goes by the value. There's no set amount. The value. Now, both of them, and this is a mistake that I made. I misspoke. Both of them have a giroin, as we see in this mission, this Rashi. We'll see it before in this Rashi. Even as Zdei Mikna has a giroin, but in a different way. In other words, giroin, every year you take down a shekel until 3 years before Yovel, it costs you 3 shekel and 3 pudyon. But by Zdei Mikna, it works the same way, but by the value. If you bought the field for $100 because that's the market value, every year you take off $2. What happens if this building happens to be in Yerushalayim and the price went up 3 times? Too bad. I get to buy it back for the amount that I paid, that I sold it 49 years ago. Every year, $2. Not only that, if the price went down, if I live in Ashdod, let's say, I don't know where, you live in Detroit, and the price went down, then I get the value of today. Today I get to depreciate the base. So I always gain. The seller always gains. Fine, but it's a sort of giroin. I always said it as a shayvi. It's almost the same thing, but it's not. It's really not. It's giroy because you go by the year. The last 2 years when in Zdei Achuzah is 50 shekel, no matter what. The giroin stops 2 years before. 2 years before Zdei Mikna, no, it goes by the value. Yovel, very important difference. Yovel, when Yovel comes and nobody redeemed the field, it goes back to the Kohanim by Zdei Chuzah, and by Zdei Mikna it goes to the owner. It always reverts back to the owner if nobody redeemed it. By Zdei Chuzah you add 20%, by Zdei Mikna you don't add 20%. Who adds the 20%? Only the owner. And then I found these things in the Rambam, that as Zdei Mikna, and we're going to have it soon, you don't, well, today we have this halacha that you cannot be poida for 2 years. If you sell your field in Zdei Mikna, these 3 halachas are only in Zdei Mikna. I didn't have room, so I enlarged it, went this way. But Zdei Mikna, if you sell your sada today, there's a freezer period, there's a grace period. You cannot redeem it, as we're going to see the halacha right now. Can't redeem it for 2 years. That you don't have by Zdei Chuzah. You cannot borrow money or sell anything in your property in order to redeem your field. Very big halacha. For Zdei Mikna, I can't go to the bank and get a loan. I can't sell my car in order to buy back my field. Too bad. You don't have the money. You have to earn the money, and you can't redeem half of your field by Zdei Mikna. This is the chart. Whoever wants. I don't know if it helped. If you guys have a aris, let me know because I did it on the fly, 10 to 7 today. Zok the Gemara. Zok the Mishnah. What?
When he was makdish or when he was selling.
Oh, I didn't go into that. I didn't go. The Zdei Achuzah is when he was magdish, obviously, and the Zdei Mikna is when he sold. But I didn't talk about the mechir. No, there's a mechira. There is a little bit of a chart for that. I didn't go into it. It was too much for me. 7 minutes. All right.
I think you got 5 minutes.
Shkoyach. Says the Mishnah, plenty of time. There is a yovel, and he sells his field. What is that called? Zdei Mikna. It's not really called Zdei Mikna, but we're calling it Zdei Mikna.
Selling is Zdei Achuzah.
Yeah, he's selling his Zdei Achuzah. Einoi muter ligol pachas mishtei shanim. He's not allowed to be poida. Now, I wanted to look in Rashi, Mefurish, but we'll do it real quickly. Hilkach ishaso biyad likeach chomesh shanim v'achkach ba moich ligola menakal likeach chomesh litrin lidril lekol shana sha'achla. It's a sort of giroin. Shenemar b'mispar shnei tfuisim karloch. So the Torah tells us you have to be able to grow 2 crops. It's 2 years. This is amazing chiddush. If one of the 2 years is Shemitah and you cannot legally plant there, or you couldn't physically because there's no water, whatever it is, there's yellow, no rain, those are not 2 years. You have to count another year. What if the guy plowed the field but he decided to take a vacation? It's not my problem that you didn't plow. What's the chiddush? Chiddush is that the guy, the seller that gets his field back all plowed up, he doesn't have to pay for it. What if it was sold to the buyer with fruit? Now he gets 2 more crops plus the crop that was already on the field. Even though the Torah says you only get 2, over here you get 3. It doesn't say don't redeem it. We're talking about a heter and an isur here. It's an isur d'oraisa to buy your field back. You're not allowed to wave the money in front of the guy and entice him and say, look, don't you want to sell it to me? Look what I'm going to give you. That's also asur. Not only that the seller, he's over if he tries to buy it back. He has to wait 2 years. Even the buyer has an isur d'oraisa. The bin and shanim tikna veleka. He's not allowed to participate. If he sells it, he's also over isur. Itmar.
Can't sell it to somebody else either. You can't flip it. To the Bible.
Yeah, probably not. Itmar, because then it wouldn't give the guy an opportunity to redeem it. Remember, we had this machlokes on Yovel. Could you be magdish on Yovel? We had a machlokes Rav and Shmuel. Same machlokes pretty much, almost, on Mechira. Can I sell a field on Yovel? Rav Omar Mechura v'Yoitza. Unbelievable Chiddush Rabbi Yisai. What does he say? He says it's sold for a split second, and it goes right back to the seller, and the buyer lost all his money. The seller gains everything. He gets his field back, and he just gets money. Ushmuel Amar Mechura Eina Mechura Kolikar. There was no sale, and therefore there was no loss.
2 years.
What?
Doesn't get his 2 years of Shnei Tvulos.
He doesn't get anything.
Right. How's it Mekayim?
Oh, so, well, it's Yovel. Yovel is special. The Shnei Tvulos is something else. And the Gemara is going to mention this exact concept. Ushmuel Amein Mechor Kolik in my time of the Shmuel Kavachomer. Uma, this is very familiar because we just had it 2 days ago. Uma Mechor Kvar Yoitza. If Yovel comes, it negates any sale that happened beforehand. Sheina Mechor and Adin Shalit Kemacher. So certainly you shouldn't be able to Lechatchila make a deal on Yovel. Yovel is going to come and negate it on the spot. Well, the Rav, how come he doesn't say that it's not chal? How come he says it's chal for a moment? I would think that you could sell, because a Ivriya goes out when she's a naro, but maybe that's if she was sold beforehand. But maybe I could sell her after she's a naro. If she's already sold, she goes out when she turns a naro. The nairus negates the sale. So how come Rav doesn't say this over here? Over there, nairus actually causes a real effect, because you can't sell her no matter what. 10 years later, you can't sell her. A year later, never. Once nairus happens, you can never sell her. But over here, Yovel doesn't create a real effect, because you could sell the field a year after Yovel, a minute after Yovel. So Yovel just accomplished that for 1 second and negated the mechira, but it's not a real negation. Meisvei. Achar Yovel shodim tikna melamed shemoichrim samach leYovel, because it says achar. So right after Yovel, I could sell. Move looking at Yovel minayin. How do you know I could sell the field many years after Yovel? Tameloy malefi roiv hashanim lefi moit hashanim. It says mufurish in the pasuk that I consider how many years you have left b'chulu. U'b'shnas Yovel atzma lo yimkar, and it says mufurish in the brayso you're not allowed to sell on Yovel. V'mochar eina mechura, exactly the opposite of what Rav says. It's not mocher for the 2 years that the Torah tells you to sell it. It's sold for a split second and it goes out. V is that I should slow down because we have 2 minutes here. Let me just slow down a little bit. V is that mizdavno. Take bershusi ad basar yovel basar yovel nechel shnei tvuos v'nahadro. Why don't we just let him keep it until after Yovel and let him do 2 years? What's the Gemara's kasha? It's a very strong kasha. Miloi Tanya, we learned a different halacha. If a guy bought it, he only was able to eat it for 1 year for whatever reason. Let's say there's Shemitah, not Shemitah, but there's Shidafa and Yeraka and whatever there was over there, and he couldn't do his 2 years. So Mashlim Leshana Acher, Yovel. We see the concept of making it up. So how come over here we don't make up 2 years after Yovel? Says the Gemara, once you start eating, we'll let you continue eating and finishing up your 2 years, but over here you never got a chance, Omer Ravanon. Shmas minei demar shmul tarti, I heard two halachas. Chodahach, that you're not allowed to sell a field in Yovel. Vidach amor chavdei legoy moy b'chutz la'aretz, if you try to sell your slave to a goy, and because of that he's not going to be mekayim mitzvahs, yotz lecheres, he goes out. Chodahadr zvina v'chodah lehadr zvina. In one case I heard that he gets his money back, and in one case he doesn't get his money back. V'loidana hey minayu, and I don't know which one it is. Ask Rashi Bam Kasha. What do you mean? Of course it's the field, because we said that according to Rav, he doesn't get the money back. The buyer loses his money. So obviously Shmuel has to be mechulik in something. So he has to say that he gets his money back, at least in one detail. Says Rashi, no. Maybe they both agree, the money doesn't go back. And it's not, but it's a mechira according to Rav, and it's not a mechira according to Shmuel. What's an nafkamina la'alacha? Nafkamina, what if he sold it with metaltalin on the field? According to Rav, it's a real mechira, so you'd get to keep the metaltalin. According to Shmuel, there's no mechira at all. But you're right, the money, in terms of money, they're exactly the same. Rashi says another pshat, ayin sham. Let's figure it out. It says that if you sell your slave, you need to get shikhr from who? From the second master. The Gemara is calling him a master. If he's a master, that means the mechira was chal for even a second. And since it's a sale, you don't get your money back. And over here, fine, maybe we'll just stop here, even though it's smack in the middle of a sugya, but it's fine. We got to the end of the page. Nachman Seltzer will be very happy.
Why does it not make a difference when the cell is being?
Yes.